Good morning, everybody. My name is Joy Sagar, and on behalf of our pastors and our Board of Trustees, we welcome everyone to the Andrew Jackson Davis Educational Building for our Sunday service. And we also generously welcome our virtual listeners and companions in this ride. At this time, we just want to remind you that it is mandatory to wear a mask. Those who are speaking may choose not to wear one. We also do not allow personal recordings of this or other services, so we thank you for that. There was just a reminder a moment ago about turning off your phone, so if you haven't done so and you have just arrived, please turn off your cell phones or put them on mute or vibrate. To begin our church service, I would like to request Kara Cobb to come up here and light 3 candles. Symbolizing the unity of body, mind, and spirit. Thank you, Kara. If you are able to rise, please rise for the invocation. And join me in prayer. Dear Infinite Intelligence, we thank you for this great opportunity to observe today. And as we go through this very moment in being present with ourselves, allow us to raise our awareness, our consciousness, open our heart, open our minds to receive, perceive, imagine, play, and be in the adventure, wonderment of this beautiful life given to us. We have the transformational abilities within ourselves, so guide us at each step of our way to be strong, be courageous, and to resonate with life, fun, humor, and to take everything that comes in its fold. We thank for our volunteer helpers, we thank for our speaker and everybody that makes the service possible, our healers, our presenters, and everybody. And we thank generously to the audience and the participants that come here to find the healing, the peace, the love, the message, and the guidance that they seek, and allow them to receive what they're here for. With that being said, amen. Please be seated. So if you have received this yellow bulletin, there are, at the back of this, are our Declaration of Principles, and we will be reciting them together. So please join me in reciting these principles. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the Golden Rule: whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual, and that he makes his own happiness or unhappiness as he obeys or disobeys nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in the Bible are divine attributes proven through mediumship. Right below in your handouts is prayer for spiritual healing, and please recite with me. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and the power of God. We do have laying on of hands healing available, so if you wish to receive spiritual healing, we have Lori Carter helping us with the healing portion of this service, so please take a seat there. And as the seat becomes open, you may take the seat with our Reverend Claire Vencott as well, and our other healer friend here. So there's a lot to participate. I think we're done. So please take a poise at this time, because we will be going in a guided meditation for yourself. So if you're drawn to the healing seat, please use that, but stay in that mode of healing for yourself through meditation. So with your eyes open or closed, just find yourself in a relaxed space. Your body is your primary space, so try to be as gently present with it. Be relaxed. Your breath as evenly possible, breathing in and exhaling. Just gently finding that rhythm that is not in a hurry, that is not slow, just your natural rhythm. And with the power of your imagination, you have to create this place that is the most fun for you. And this is where you will be at play. So let your imagination run and flow and create this beautiful, fun, adventure, loving place just for you, just uniquely created for you. And see it come to life just the way you want it. But remember, this is a place for creation, fun, adventure, possibilities. So lift that imagination and create your space. And don't forget to breathe. And if you may find something is holding you back to create your vision and your space, just let it flow. And as you create this space, this is the time for you to welcome the memories of laughter, play, and fun. In a gentle space of allowing these memories to be of those that are here with us in the living and those that have passed on to the spirit world. Just bringing those beautiful memories, the jokes, the puns, the practical jokes, just laughter. Completely relaxed, and in that space you're just immersed in those beautiful memories that are flooding in. There is so much to remember, so much to be attentive. And as you visit these memories, you once again just be attentive to the details that you may not have remembered then, but it's more of an awareness now, and be aware within that observation. If you feel drawn to interact in the space with your memories, you may do so. And gently and slowly, these flood of memories slow down and fade away. And there is nothing else but you in this moment of your observation, just simply present in that space that you just created. Just being one with your own spirit within you. Just be present there, mindfully and with complete awareness. The wonderful energy that you're radiating is yours. The brightness, the cheer, the happy heart, everything belongs to you. It is you and it is you all this time. And just keeping your eyes and your mind on your breath and your breathing. And the feeling that your cup is running over with gratitude. Just collect all the access. And this is the time for you to give. Give to those that are in need of healing, comfort, and support. Just uplift your energy and allow it to move where it is needed the most. It is time to give from your spirit. And know that by your spirit of giving, some situation, someone is being touched upon with generous gift and giving that you're offering. Bringing your attention to your breath, give yourself a gentle thank you that you were able to hold your space. And let this world that you created through your imagination stay with you as a beautiful memory, a beautiful place to be. And allow your consciousness to be back more realistically in this space. And as you become comfortable, please join me back here. At this time, as everybody's back, I would like to thank our healers for offering their gift of healing, and those that have received hope, and definitely hope that you have felt some improvement there. So in the back corner, you may find a yellow card, which is referred as Colby Memorial Temple Healing Statement. If you have received a healing today here, hands on, please take a moment if you have felt any improvement or correction to fill out the form, and it gives us an opportunity to see the progress that you have made and also what we as healers have been able to contribute to you as we participate with you. So thank you for doing that in advance. We will give it just a minute before we bring up our speaker. So it is a beautiful opportunity because we are coming to the lecture portion of our service, and it is my utmost pleasure, privilege, honor to introduce the speaker. Many years ago when I started my journey, very soon being in this camp was an opportunity to meet Reverend Diane Davis in one of the psychometry workshops, and that was the beginning. And how do I introduce her? She has been in this work. I cannot give a number because then there's a humor behind it. And and she works with humor. She speaks from her heart. She's very inspiring when it comes to natural laws and spiritual laws and the gifts that she has in her own way. But through my own simple introduction, she's somebody to listen to, pay attention to, because there might be just that little small nugget that might sit in your heart and change your aspect and overview of life. A very inspiring speaker, and our lecturer today, Reverend Diane Davis.
Or there could be a good joke. Well, I left my notes in my car, but since I don't normally work off of notes anyway, I guess I'll just try to remember what I'm supposed to be saying today. For any of you who came to hear Lori Martinez, because she was scheduled to be here, she was unable to be here, and I was called last week to come in, and I'm excited to be here on Easter. After 47 years, that I've not really, I don't remember a time that I spoke on Easter itself, so this is kind of fun. And thank you all for coming in, and thank you all for being at home and listening and observing. And I just want you to know that I asked Joy to be my mirror, because it's like this. And he said, oh yeah, everything looks good except for he said, but they're probably your antenna. So I just want to ask for a little bit of compassion, because some of you may know what happens when you put something in your dryer and it has a little bit of spandex in it and you leave it too long. Do I have a little compassion here? Okay, it's like instead of somebody saying to you, well, just suck it up. Yeah, okay, fine. So I just want you to know I'm really happy to be here, because I wanted to tell you about an egg hunt I went on when I was about 8 years old later. I do want to mention something about spiritualism, because we were reciting the principles. And we're going to be teaching a workshop. There's 3 of us, Pauline Gold, who's here, and Reverend Jerry Moore and myself. And it's going to be called Spiritualism 101. And but it's really NSI, and it's going to be to explore it, because some of you only know us from maybe readings, some of you from healings, and some of us just know you perhaps from church. But spiritualism is also a philosophy, and that's my love, is the philosophy of it. But it's also a science, because so much of it can be proven. And not just in the woo-woo, the woo-woo that we often get accused of. So I just want you to know that that's coming up. But that leads me into what I wanted to mention today, because some of you may have come today feeling that we would be doing a ritualistic kind of program. And spiritualists have a tendency to embrace all religions. So it's not just Christianity. In all the years, and I've been involved in spiritualism now for over 50 years. And I didn't work that long. Honest, I have a little bit of a shorter stint there. But we've had rabbis and priests and many people from all different walks of life and philosophies who have participated with spiritualists, with our mediumship opportunities and our healing experiences. So it's to know that hopefully there's a very open mind here today. As I was thinking about Easter, because Easter, I think of eggs. I'm so sorry for any of you who have something more that you think of, but I think of eggs. Because as a little girl, I found out about eggs. I'm not going to go into it because there's a little person here in this room, and I don't want to mess anything up, because you know what they did with Santa. Okay, so what happens though, is that my father managed seasonal resorts. And so as a little girl, I grew up in Scottsdale, and we had an older resort. It's no longer there. You can't look for it, but it was at the base of Camelback Mountain. And but on Easter, they would have an Easter egg hunt for the children of the guests who were there. So they had this putting area there. I think there were 9 holes of putting green kind of thing, and then around it were all these shrubs and flowers and whatever. And then there was another little square of land, and it was near a fountain, and the fountain had the Spanish tiles, and it was quite lovely actually. And anyway, so all of us had decorated little hats. Well, I couldn't figure out what to do, and not being of the creative bent that I grew up with in terms of my mother and my sister, I took a wicker placemat. You know, the wicker placemats that you can get, and they have lots of holes in them because of the weaving. Well, I put a ribbon in that, and then I put on top of it plastic eggs and some of that grass, and I mean, you know, I wasn't that old. But anyway, and I tied that around my chin, and that was my hat. So I didn't really have a bonnet that was, you know, the one you would sing about, I'm sure. But I went on this Easter egg hunt. Well, let me tell you what it was like. Okay, well, that's what I want to talk to you about today. And that is the gold wrapped one. You know the gold wrapped one? Well, let me tell you about the gold wrapped one. There was going to be a prize. So we all, you know, heard them say 1, 2, 3, go. Well, I did. And guess who found the gold wrapped one? Yes, and I wasn't supposed to. And I didn't know that. So in place of it, I got a chocolate bunny, but it was gold wrapped as well. So the interesting thing about the egg, because I mentioned about the egg is symbolic, not just in Christianity and in other religions, but also it's a very strong symbol of new life, new life. Easter has often been felt in natural law studies, various ones, and we do check principle number 7. I think I said that right. Yeah, 7. Hello. Is that in understanding that this time of the year, it's a wonderful time to observe new life, new life. And one thing that I always heard from Reverend Eloise Page, who was one of my principal teachers of natural law years ago, was the fact that things that occurred after Easter often had more of a durability, often had more clarity, often were opportunities for us of greater expansion that we might feel after a winter of more contraction or feelings of constriction. So the new life, I always watch for the wrens outside my kitchen window because I keep a little box for them. It's a cardboard box. It's falling apart right now. I need to put more tape on the bottom. But, you know, duct tape is a wonderful tool, isn't it? And the incredible thing about watching for the wrens is that observing life happening. And sometimes it's very hard if I watch all the caterpillars. I have a hard time with that one. But it's just observing how many things are occurring at this time that are springing forth. I have 2 drake elms in my yard, and they go totally dormant, where there's no greenery on them. There's no leaf, nothing. And then all of a sudden it's like, and suddenly there's little green sprigs. So you have this capability, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today with the eggs and the egg hunt and the opportunities that are in front of each of us. When you are born with an infinite opportunity of potentials in front of you. They are actually connected to you like little tendrils, and you might not feel them or see them, And yet they're there. They're there. They're there. They're there. They're there. So no matter what you face, no matter what you go through, no matter what we experience or who with, there's always greater life happening. And yet we often don't bring it in. Joy was talking about memories today, and I was kind of going to smirk as best I can. And because of the fact that I'm going to talk about how that past creates opportunity, but it's not your future. And it doesn't have to be. If in that past there are any of those memories that did not bring you joy, or that brought you challenge, or that brought you change, or brought you things that were out of your seeming control, because all of us have gone through that. Whether it's sadness, whether it's difficulty, whether it's relationships of any kind, whether it's jobs, whether it's money, whether it's yada, 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 yada. We all have this experience in life. And you never know who's sitting right next to you and what their life is like. You can project about it. You can think you know. You can think you have all the answers about why they say what they say. I call emails the greatest source of projection. Of course, you can know exactly what somebody emotionally felt when they typed that. Really? And then there's all those mistakes of the words, that the funny things. And see, I don't text, but the texts are even worse, aren't they? Because there's all this stuff in a text that can be misspelled, or even the words don't come out the way you really intend. And then that other person is interpreting them how. And here we go. And I'm going off subject with that. Because those infinite possibilities are out there, because those are moments in all of our lives that we have that can be new beginnings. No matter what we face, no matter how, no matter when, no matter who, no matter where. And the exciting thing about bringing a memory forward is if that memory serves you to propel you into recognizing that you've accomplished so much in your life. You wouldn't be sitting here today if you hadn't accomplished something that said you have a little bit of an open mind. And then again, you might be here because you're really needy. Well, you know what? All of us are both. All of us are both, and neither is right, wrong, good or bad, better than the other or less. Because of the fact that this Easter, we've all come through, all of us have shared something in life called 2020. See, I didn't even say COVID, did I? Oh. But all of us are learning to wear masks. Mine has lint on it today, and you have to know that if I start coughing, I can't stop because it has a spasmodic kind of thing that occurs. And so I'll get with you in a moment if I start to do that. I forgot to give you that disclaimer. And the exciting thing of not having to wear a mask is I get to know you from here up. And you get to see me full front. Isn't that fun? Well, I'm not sure. And the interesting thing with beginnings, and the interesting thing about today being Easter, is grab it, hold on to it, and let it be the day that's wrapped in gold. It doesn't mean that it's going to be the best day of your life. It doesn't mean that you suddenly have to make a fortune. It doesn't mean that you have to meet the love of your life, or it doesn't matter. But what does matter is what you are recognizing within yourself that will allow you to see something forward in life that you might not have all the answers for, but you might have the beginnings of something new. Is she asleep? Oh, you're welcome to move your chair 2 inches to the left. I don't think Kara's going to get worried. I can't see your sweet face, and your mask is very pretty. Okay, so the reason that I mention this is my first reading was in 1972. too. And in that reading, it was a very difficult time in my life, and somebody had said, why don't you go up to Cassadaga and get a reading? Well, Cassadaga was very different then than it is now, and it doesn't mean that it was less or more. It was just different, so it was very quiet, very calm. And I went to see this wonderful man called Reverend Joseph Paquin, and he was a cross between Swami Satchidananda and Santa Claus, because he was a little round guy, and he had these little cherubic cheeks. And I'd never had a reading, didn't have a clue about it. No, I wasn't raised in a family with it. No, I wasn't one of those people that could determine the Titanic. I could sleepwalk when I was little. Does that count? Anyway, and so I went to him, and there was a circumstance, a situation, and he gave me a message, one of the parts of the reading, that was really interesting. And he said, Missy, I don't know where he got that nickname, but I think it was General. He said, Missy, he said, I don't know who this young man is that you're around. And he said, but he said, you know the Whitman's sampler? Are you getting hungry for chocolate yet? That he said, you know the Whitman's sampler? And I said, yes, sir. And he said, well, you're the special gold wrapped one. Oh, isn't that sweet? What about you? And when are you going to treat yourself like you are? And it's something that we forget, and something that we often lose in comparison to other people, and yet it's always there within us. And it doesn't mean we're better than, and it doesn't mean we're superior. It means that we are equal human beings, and that's why we're here on earth. So in looking for those eggs when I was younger, it wasn't about beating anybody to them, but it might have been, because you know when you're young and somebody says, okay, and you just want to win because you're supposed to, because that's what you do when you get 1, 2, 3, go. That little competitiveness comes out, but it does not have to come out as an adult unless it's appropriate in the issue or the situation where we are. Where it can be extremely vital is to understand that we share this earth. We share it. We don't own it. We share it. We share this space this morning, which is pretty wonderful. But we share it. It isn't yours, it isn't mine. I may have been in here a whole lot more opportunity than you, but that doesn't make it less of a wonderful place for you to participate. And it doesn't make it mine to possess it. What happens so often in our lives for new beginnings is that we start towards something that we want to do. We start towards some change we want to make. We start toward something that we want to expand on, we want to build, we want to create, we want to take part in it, we want to try it. And then, I know you don't do this, but I do this all the time. I can easily talk myself out of it. How about you? I know. And that's that monkey mind, you know, that chatter that we have. And I don't carry my bananas all the time for it. But, you know, that little monkey mind can just get in there and so then we become a victim or a martyr to our own choices. So you have a choice. You have a choice called Easter and a new beginning. And I would like to share with you something I've been doing for the last several days consciously. And that is in the morning before I even climb out of bed, because climbing out of bed can sometimes be a groan And then sometimes it's like, I don't want to get up, but I need to get up thing. Okay, I know you all don't ever go through that, right? She said. But I'll lay there and I'm just very, very conscious of the light. The light. You can interpret what the light means. You can stand on it you want. I don't care. To me, it's energies. And it's the energy of life compressed in a way that we can experience it. You can also get into an autonomic nervous system experience and talk about it scientifically as well if you want to do that too. But I'm not the one to talk to, and I'm not biblical. But what I am is an individual who's explored this for 50 years. So I'm laying there in bed in the morning and I am visualizing the ocean, not a specific beach, but just the water, and how you can look out on that horizon and you can see the sky and you can see the water, but you can't see what it leads to. And if you don't like the beach and the water, because I don't go to the beach either, I burn easily. It's a real pit. But anyway, so what happens is, go to the mountains, look out at a vista, and see the spaciousness. And if you can't get that in your mind, because Joy did a wonderful thing when he said, imagination. Your imagination is what crystallizes into your intuition, into those feelings of I can do this, into that experience that allows you to interpret the thoughts that are coming to you. I don't care what you think the source is of them, it does not matter. But in the morning, for me, I will feel the vastness of that because it's the sky. And it's just the infinite space. And Joy used that word a lot in the meditation this morning. And that space has all kinds of potentials that are new. During the last natural law workshop I taught, there was a drawing that I made. It was really an artistic endeavor. Just kidding. But it shows our past. And it shows our past like dots. And all of those experiences of the past and those memories, those opportunities, those things that you might have thought were failures, those things that you think ought to have occurred differently, well, they didn't. But it's like they were dots. But on the other side of a person, there's this open-ended space. And it's that's called the future. You can come and you can get readings with us, and no, I'm not going to put myself out of work and the other readers that are also sharing this room right now, is the fact that to me the greatest gift in getting a reading is to get the confirmation to keep going. The confirmation and perhaps an idea of maybe another way. Or something else. And you always have that. You always have more than one choice in any endeavor, in any decision you make, in anything you're doing. And just when you think there's no hope, or just when you think you're living life the way you're supposed to, and the way it's going to roll in your future, because a lot of people, and especially in Florida, come here to retire. And retirement can be a joyful time, or it can be a time of winding down, because there's more time in front of me in my life, and there is less and less that I feel sometimes as potentials of that time. So what happens to any of our thought processes, and what occurs for us in our participation, and what occurs for you with those memories, and keeping the ones that are joyful, and keep the ones that showed you accomplished a great deal, and showed you how you accepted challenge, and I don't care, don't compare it to anybody else. Life hands us a lot of things. And to me, futures find people, not the other way around. A lot of people think it's the law of attraction, and I'm here to tell you it does not operate on its own. It operates because you take an action and take a step and move forward. And it does not mean that that has to be a giant leap, and it does not mean that that has to be harmful, but it might mean give it a try. Give it a try. Just a little try, once in a while. So what occurs? What occurs in new beginnings and new life? Remember those wrens? Those wrens, when those little eggs hatch, and those little baby wrens come out and they have that little sprig of hair. Well, I'll go out and join them, I guess. But the exciting thing is when they fly away, that one time, they're gone. They're out of the nest. They don't come back. They don't whine. Some of them kind of can't get their oomph until the parents are yakking at them, and then, I just try to get real still and real quiet and just observe them. And one year that didn't happen. One year the feral cats knocked the nest down. I had a meltdown that day. However, that's life too. Your life is a beautiful opportunity. Easter's a wonderful time just to take a step, take a new step, take an opportunity step, take a step. Whatever that step might take you to. And it might take you to trying anchovies if you don't like anchovies. But I'm going for the gold bunny. Because I was given one yesterday. And I was told to eat the ear first. However, I don't want to start eating it. But one thing I did want to remember, even within myself as I forget, is I am a special gold-wrapped one, just like you. You have a new beginning now. In 2021, there's changes happening. We can blend with some of those and just be amazed and even entertained. I look at the news at night and it's some of the same old stories that have been on and on and on. So I don't want to watch that much because why drill it in? I can only watch people getting inoculated so often. Really? Be gentle with yourself, keep your sense of humor. Maybe a chocolate bunny or a chocolate Easter egg might come in handy. If you don't want the chocolate, they got them in peanut butter and coconut. And I just want you to know, I am so grateful you're here, and I am so grateful that I got a chance to have my new beginning, which is starting right now.
I'm supposed to say a few words after the speaker is done, but I think you heard it all. She is wonderful. She's definitely inspiring. She's got a big part in my life as well, so very grateful for that. In our camp, as we go into the next piece of our service, I just want to say our spiritualist camp has offered over many years such wonderful teachers and inspiring people. That has brought us to our 127 years of celebration this year, and it's just a great opportunity to continue to serve and be inspired and leave something as an imprint of inspiration moving forward. So it's a beautiful place. It always makes my heart full. So at this time, I would like to remind everybody that is present in this room that we have a prosperity bowl in the back. So as you are leaving, if you're drawn to, please donate something as you are drawn to. And those that are attending with us virtually, I'm sure you have been inspired just as much. So if it is in your heart to offer any donations, there should be a link on our YouTube and our Facebook section so that you can send your generous donations to us. And to those that are present here and virtually, thank you for your generosity. I would like to take a moment to give an offertory prayer because it's a part of this process. So please join me in prayer. Dear Infinite Spirit, we give thanks for the monies that will be received or are being received as we are saying this prayer. But we're really grateful for the generous gifts that you have given us in small shapes, different sizes, different capacities. Allow us to grow our gifts and to be able to generously donate even those more than what we are desiring so that our hearts are full. Our sense of contribution and fulfillment is always there. So we thank you once again to everybody that has given us the offerings and donations, and may you be blessed in your own way. Amen. Just a few announcements. Next Wednesday on April 7th, our message bearer for our Wednesday night demonstration of spirit services will be Sydney Patterson, and it will be right here in this room. Next Sunday, April 11th, the speaker for the Sunday service will be Reverend Jerry Moore. Every Sunday, we have Adult Lyceum, also known as Sunday School, from 9:30 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. in the Andrew Jackson Davis building. This is where we are. And our next Sunday, April 11, Lyceum speaker will be Reverend Dr. Don Zangi. To participate in absentee healing, please print the first name and the first initial of the last name of a loved one, and even the name of your pet in our healing book, which is at the back of this room. So please feel free to add those names for healing. Every Thursday, a healing meditation circle is held from 11 a.m. to noon in the Andrew Jackson Davis building, once again in this very room. Healing is sent to those on the absentee healing list. Everybody is welcome to participate if you're wanting to be present for this service. This service, as well as Sunday Lyceum and Sunday services, are live streamed through our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. So if being present here is not a possibility, maybe you'll find time to join us virtually. So everybody is welcome. At the entrance, we have our Sunday bulletin and our activities for the month. So a yellow and a pink brochure. If you would like to take one with you to keep in tune with who is speaking and the events that are going here, that is a wonderful tool. And those that are in the virtual world with us, please use our website, www.cassadaga.org, for more information. At this time, we would like to thank our live stream audience for joining us today. We look forward to spending time with you again in numerous different services that are offered here. So thank you very much.